Alright, got a feeling the fan inside here, which is supposed to, get some air into the back of the fridge, is not working. I've flicked on the switch inside and I just can't hear nothing. And if you look in the grooves, you can sort of probably hard for you guys to see it, but there's a fan in there and I cannot hear it moving. So we want to test it and we want to replace it. Once you've got the screws out on each side, it's just a matter of these clips. Pretty sure they push up like that. That sort of locks it in, and then you sort of pull it off. Okay, right. Obviously there's gonna be a lot of wires in there, guys. You want to unplug your 240, and if you really want to, you can actually isolate your 12 volt with that black switch in your cabinet. But I mean, you're not going to be sticking your fingers in there anyway. The only thing you'll be touching is this little 12 volt fan. I don't really understand how that little fan's supposed to do it all, but probably would have put a couple of them in here. Pretty sure it's supposed to suck air in here, comes through the back of the fridge, and on top of there is a vent for the fridge. So that means that's supposed to suck, and at the moment it definitely does suck because it's not even working. Okay, let's get that fixed. So this switch here is does that fan I'm talking about, and I've been told that you should really only use it on hot days, 30 plus, to circulate air behind your fridge so it works more efficiently and it's not getting hot. So really need to mark that, but anyway, so all we do is we'll turn power on and we'll go test it at the fan and see if it's got power. Okay, what you want to do is put your multimeter on to DC. It's the symbol that's a V, and it's got a line with 3 little dots underneath it. That's a symbol for DC power, because DC power is constant. The V, that's AC, because the AC goes in and out. Okay, as you can see, I've turned that switch on as I said to you, and we've got our prongs in here, just on the wire, just touching the inside of the wire. It's only 12 volts, so it's not dangerous, this sort of voltage and this sort of current, but yep, so you can see we're just testing at the moment. So you can see the determined that actually we have voltage, so there's nothing wrong with our power. The problem is that fan is just not spinning. And this is just to let you know, this is a brand new Caravan, so I'm not sure why they haven't checked this, and it's not worth me. You must be saying, oh, we'll just take it back for warranty. Well, yeah, I could, but it's an hour's drive. It'll probably be sitting there for a day or two to get fixed, and I can just fix this in 5 minutes myself. It's quite easy. I've got some fans I'm going to put over in here, and these fans are pretty cheap, $20–30, but they're actually waterproof, these ones. They have an IP rating, so I'll be curious to see what the IP rating of this fan is. So let's have a look at that. The existing one, the one that's not working, is this one. I'm pretty sure I've just walked into the shop and brought the exact one, so it's IP55, so it is weatherproof, and that's the new one I'm going to be putting in, but I'm probably going to put 2 in. I reckon 2 works a lot better than 1. Get that air flowing. It's a big vent, hey, to blow all the way up inside there. So yeah, I'm going to put 2 of these on. If you're thinking, oh, you're using too much power, these things use bugger all power. And this is actually just stage 1. My next video, well, not next video, but video we'll be doing is that I'm actually going to put a thermostat on this so that I don't have to remember to turn that switch on. That's stupid. It should work off a thermostat, so when the temperature gets hotter inside here, it automatically turns on. So that'll be another video, but for starters, I'm just going to get this fan fixed and replace it. Back in here, we want to turn off that power. That's our 12 volt power to that fan. And if you're confident, you're not too confident, you can just flick off your actual 12 volt and you will have no power here. This will be totally dead in here. You won't be able to turn on anything. So yeah, alright. Okay, as an electrician, we always just double check, even though we've turned that switch off, but we're double checking through the probes to make sure it's totally dead. It's just good security. Alright, so I'm lining up the second fan. You pretty much line it up to just screw into one of those bits of plastic like that. You want to be very slow, like I'm using a bloody drill here, which is fine, but just be real careful, you know, just go real super slow. You don't really need long screws, just enough to go the width of the fan. Actually, these are probably a bit short, so I'll get a little bit longer ones, but you only need to go a little bit long into the plastic. That's all you need. Okay, so we got them screwed in and we got them wired together. We've got our positive and got our negative. We're just going to make some little connections into our cables. Okay, we are all wired up, positive and negatives hooked up to here. These are running sweet. I can feel it blowing onto my hand, which means it's sucking through the grill here, going into the back of our fridge. I can see with the old one, I can't prove it, but I would say they've screwed it too tight onto here, which has broken this little bit of fan here, because when I undid it, this all sort of broke. But if you can have a quick look, see that fan blade is so damn close to the edge that if they did this too tight, I think it would pull against the grill, and then obviously the blades can't spin. And because I've had it running, you know, testing it, I like trying to use it, but if the blades are not spinning, I've probably burnt out the little motor unknowingly, because it actually wasn't fitted correctly because they've pulled it too tight. As you can see, I've screwed these down. I've only used a little screw and just gently sort of screw it into the plastic. They're pretty hard, they are not going anywhere. I've got two fans now rather than one. I mean one, they might reckon that works, but I have seen people paying extra, not extra, but I've seen aftermarket parts, you know, for two of these. So pretty simple. I think these are only like for 13 bucks or something, or 20 bucks. So I just brought two of them, and then you just wire them in with some connectors. Yeah, pretty easy. Just a side note, this is a Supreme Caravan. You know, they could do better with their wiring, really. There's some improvements to be made there. I do like their design, but definitely the way they've wired stuff, wrapping around things, it's just not neat. There's plenty of room there. They could definitely make it a lot neater. Have some mechanical protection over some of this cable as well. You know, yeah, there's just some improvements they could make. Definitely could be a lot tidier than that. Okay, same way you put it in, you just want to clip it in there nicely. Okay, all done, clipped in. It the vent kind of goes into, when you put it back to the right, sort of push it into the right, then push it back, holding pressure against it, and then just push those little clips down, and then checking that this is all, you know, nice and flat, recessed, and then you just want to put your screws back in. Okay, screws are back in, as you can see there. Remember, this is just plastic, so you don't want to go too hardcore with your drill, okay? But you can hear the fans, they are cranking somewhere in there. Really happy with that. Way different. I can actually feel the bit of suction in there now. So anyway, you shouldn't have to fix these things when you buy a brand new caravan, but you know, if you got the know-how, it's definitely saves a lot more time. You can sort of do it yourself. I know what I'm doing. Pretty easy. It's only just a 12-volt little fan, and I was going to upgrade it anyway. I was going to put two fans in there. I'm not finished with this though, because I'm going to put a thermostat in there so that it can turn on by itself, you know, when you reach a certain temperature. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.